Hello, and welcome to another episode of my Realpolitiks. Let's play. This is Northstar. I hope you folks are well, taking care of each other, and being kind to yourselves. Whew, am I exhausted, but got to be productive here. I may have been a little harsh in this game. Technically, Realpolitiks refers to a certain pragmatism politics, doing whatever makes sense. The game is still made by neoliberals or at least liberals with a strongly anti-socialist bent, among other things. But there is one thing, anyways, that the game rewards I probably need to, and that is to work with Peace Planet, because they will help me bring my warmonger rating down. It's also a way to spend action points. I got a bunch dumped in my lap. Far more than I could use. That cost 1,000. Certain events will give me a chance to bring down my warmonger rating faster, although they'll hurt my GDP usually. Sometimes make the population happier. It's worth noting too. In order to expand here, I could conquer Albania if they attack me or something, but my warmonger rating would shoot through the roof, so I either need to bring down my warmonger rating and then do that, or I need to just liberate them, create a foreign regime, diplomatically annex, similarly Bulgaria, which, when the time is right, I'll remove the claim in the core on Bulgaria and be able to maybe block up with them and then annex them diplomatically, or go to war with them, liberate Varna, diplomatically annex that, then try to do the same with Sofia, the remaining province. This will all be towards creating, I guess, a Balkan Federation, reforming Yugoslavia eventually, Balkan Federation kind of thing. All the Balkan countries, including Hungary, which is sort of Balkan, especially if you count Transylvania, Turkey, Romania, Moldova, maybe become a regional power. That's probably the most that would realistically. I mean, a World Congress, forming a Balkan Federation. Yeah, if you've ever played Hearthstone 4, you'll recognize the Balkan Federation as a potential goal. Nationalist movement in Peru. Peruvian nationalists are pushing for expansion. Peru has gained northern Chile as their new core province. We're living in interesting times indeed. Right. Peru wants to expand south into Chile. It's actually the capital, so to take that, they would have to first do something about southern Chile. Right. That will make Peru tend to be more militaristic over time. Peace Planet wants me. Communism can easily take a turn for the worse, but slight acceptance should be beneficial for the people. Keep relations with the People's Democratic Front above 20 and below 30. They're probably referring to the Soviet Union kind of ignored environmentalism and tend to be pretty militaristic. Golden mean. They're pushing the idea of a little Marxism, i.e. social democracy being obtained through working together with Marxists, because that's historically how the Nordic democracies came into being. It wasn't, ooh, it's a soft capitalism, and it was none of that idealistic utopian thinking. It was Marxists fighting tooth and nail for Marxist states in the Nordic countries, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, which, mind you, had close proximity to the Soviet Union. In fact, Finland had a revolution that attempted to establish a Marxist Leninist government at the same time that Russia did, and in Russia the Reds won, and in Finland the Reds lost. There was actually a debate in the Soviet Union whether to help the Reds in the Finnish Civil War, and the general consensus was not to. Lenin was a strong proponent of that. Rosa Luxemburg, who was actually active in West Germany, not so much Luxembourg, actually harshly criticized Lenin for that, because the Reds could have won in Finland. There could have been a Red Finland, or even Finland as a member state of the Soviet Union. But anyways, there was a large large communist movements in Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, or at least dangerous ones, the government. So to prevent them from gaining more ground, because, well, I shouldn't say they were really large, but, substantial enough portion of the population with the potential to grow, that the elites felt threatened, and so they made concessions. They allowed better working conditions, invest in public health services, those kind of things, built social democracies as a protection against socialist influence. Without the Marxist influence, it would have never happened. And social democracies tend to be more pacifist and protect their environments more. So that is clearly why Peace Planet wants a little Marxism, is they want to create a social democracy in Macedonia, which might be in my interest to do, since I need to get the warmonger rating down, or at least to pretend to do. This game encourages you to be a cynical prick, and maybe to see the rulers of countries as cynical pricks, which I fully encourage, because they usually are. People should see them as what they are. Have no illusions. Alright, well, get some AP for building my Air Force. Probably after my AP gets wiped out. Some for this. After mining infrastructure, I can put it into power generation. Atomic energy would be more efficient use of the resources, but it would require atomic energy tech, which atomic power, it's 4,000. I'd go through bankruptcy, but it's not a ton of AP. I have the HDI for it. Could do it when my debt was getting kind of high anyways, and that would allow atomic energy at a very reasonable cost, and even atomic energy focus. It would only require 5 resources to get all this GDP growth. 0.7 as opposed to 0.5 for 11. Of course, people are angry about it because, a threat of nuclear meltdown. And it doesn't generate as many, I guess, mining jobs as coal mining, so it doesn't have the same political popularity as fossil fuels. Members of the church despair, of course, with how automated mining is. These days, coal mining doesn't provide many jobs, regardless. Some former members of the Church of Reconology appeared on TV a few weeks ago talking about how the church used them and wouldn't allow them to leave when they wanted to, because it's coal. It's coal. Now they've disappeared completely. We received plenty of offers from various other legit organizations to help in the search. You do it, it hurts relations. Ignore it. Unhappiness, sure. They do this, though. Wait. AP was good for a while. But at this point, I've got AP to burn. And I actually want more right-wing government. Higher interventionism. Well, no. I won't shift right till the next elections. This isn't target. This is just a one-time shift. Of course, cracking down on these guys will increase my personal control target. And increase tax income. Expensive AP. Let's do this. It's time to maybe get a little harsher on these guys. I don't want such a low personal control target right now. I do want the tax money to reduce the frequency of bankruptcies. I don't have a bot to maintain. Yeah, sure, I gave up 3 AP a month. But right now I'm swimming in AP. Get a bunch more from main energy source. The big thing, though, is my personal control target should have just gone up. No, not quite. I want this to go to -2 instead of -3 so I can shift personal control up to 6. This, as I said, will make it easier to possibly annex Albania when they attack me. Benefit from next time the UN does one of those Operation Against Imperialism resolutions. We got them. We found the lost ex-reconologists. They were kidnapped by an unidentified group and held in some old basement. What's weird is they've decided to return to the church. Apparently, they, quote, saw the truth down that basement and have retracted all accusations against the church. That's good. Gain score. Doesn't happen. So they were re-brainwashed before they were found by that cult. And now I'm going to have a hard time building up AP after the next bankruptcy. But yeah, it's about personal control. Target. Shifting away from these guys. Could just say, no, I'm not going to go into space. That's another way. But then there might be events. I don't want to upset them too much. So, whatever. One taken. Also avoid a lot of popular discontent. World's more focused on Russia than me right now. They are stretched in 3 wars. One is civil war. It's like a mirror is trying to break off. Where is mirror? Isn't that in the Far East? This game, yes, it is. So one of the Siberian Far East provinces wants to become a separate country. Might actually be in their interest to do so. Russia's interest to let them. If it's as part of Russia, it can convert to Chinese culture. I'm not sure if that happens if it's no longer controlled by Russia. One taken. Regardless of whether it's in their interest, it's probably they're going to crack down on that. So, Turkey and ISIS finished yet another war. Not sure what's going on with that, but nationalist movements in Russia. Russian conservatives are pushing to restore the borders of the USSR. New conflicts are clearly brewing. We're living in interesting times indeed. I'm not sure that'd be conservatives. That would be Russian leftists, you would think. Maybe it's conservatives who really want the Russian Empire pre-Soviet Union. Anyways, this will lead to them taking the rest of Ukraine, the Baltic Union. Belarus will probably leave their bloc, but then they'll conquer them eventually. And then they eventually can get claims on Romania and Poland through other events, if I remember. So, yeah, Russia's marching west. I share the same culture group as them, so I should have an easier time avoiding their wrath. Reconologist refugees. The Church of Reconology is being banned all around the world and its members exiled. Church refugees from those countries are seeking help in our country. Accept them. Accept those who are fleeing persecution for them being part of a cult. Costs a bunch of money, driving a bankruptcy. Lose AP, lose personal control, gain a little bit of population, or we can't accept them. More personal control. Probably also get the personal control target down. Yep. This will help with establishing authoritarian government by cracking down this cult. New UN members. Right. Germany decided to spy on me. Great. Well, even if I'd improved relations than previously, or the last bankruptcy, I think that would have expired by now. Not sure. Of course, spy actions take time. They might have queued up before then. It's possible I could avoid that. Probably doesn't matter unless Germany decides to attack me because they dislike me. Deep sea exploration. The very bottom of the sea still hides many surprises. It's time to finally explore it fully. Those who reach it first will claim its treasures for themselves. Dive, dive, dive. Start funding project. This is pretty expensive, but not so expensive I couldn't gain a core on Deponia. This isn't the one that actually sets it up, but core on a future province. The main thing is gain resources for a little while, which could be used to do fossil fuel energy for a limited time. Very limited. This is not worth it in the long run. Except, oh wait, I could disclaim the core. Could gain score, whatever. Don't have to spend on it immediately. The big thing would be bring down the warmonger rating sooner. Of course, that's mainly for AP, so the yeah, it's not worth doing. I have to greatly accelerate the next bankruptcy just to. What am I saying? The warmonger rating is actually the limiting factor in my expansion. This is gonna eat up all my AP very fast. Probably won't go bankrupt before. Let's just do it. Yeah, should be able to. Central Asian Union close-up. A mutual cooperation agreement between the countries of Central Asia has just been signed. Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and Kazakhstan will soon merge into a single country. Tajikistan and Turkmenistan are also eligible, but I guess decide not to participate, or maybe they'll get a follow-up event. African Unification Front. The Angolan state, which tried to form an African Unification Front historically, is trying again, I guess. The Angolan state has recently reached new social and democratic heights. Now they want to take it even further and have created a new entity, the African Unification Front. They're planning to unite all the Bantu people under its banner and eventually become a true force to be reckoned with. It's not about the Bantu people, no, it's about actually uniting all of Africa against imperialism. This is, of course, an ethno-nationalist nonsense reinterpretation of that. Or maybe the idea is that this time around it's ethno-nationalist. A darker version of history repeating itself. Okay, well, I need a name for this video. I guess Russian nationalism. It does describe what's going on. One of the major events that occurred this session. So, I hope you folks enjoyed this video. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. May always find a guiding star to lead on. Adieu, and best luck to you all.